it has many connectors. Like there's lots of products that you can add. So I'm going to use the Jotform connector. It's available. So I can just say, create a contact form using Jotform. Basically, whatever kind of form you want to create, you can do it. And it will just use the MCP connection with Jotform to create a form for us. And I'm going to show this contact form it created. Here it is. So basically, created a simple contact form with all these questions on it. And it's now making submissions to it.
Hi, my name is Demetri Panici, and I'm a content creator, agency owner, and AI enthusiast. You're listening to the AI Agents Podcast, brought to you by Jotform, and featuring our very own CEO and founder, Aytekin. This is the show where artificial intelligence meets innovation, productivity, and the tools shaping the future of work. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the AI Agents Podcast. In this episode, Aytekin and I are back, and we're talking about the hottest new tool. I was going to say in 2025, but it's 2026. It is Claude Cowork.
That's such a fast start to the new year. So it's our first episodes of the new year. And we have a huge update, a new AI agent that's so powerful. That's going to blow your mind. So it's going to be some exciting demos that showcases this new product. Just came out 2 days ago. It's called Claude Cowork. And basically what they did was they already had this amazing product called Claude Code. And lots of developers have been using this product. And they discovered that developers weren't just using this product for writing code, but they were also using it for all kinds of things, like, all kinds of automation on their busy work. And they decided to do something about it. Yeah, you're going to tell us that story.
Yeah, so I was somebody who was using Claude Code for a while for a lot of different use cases. I was making landing pages. I was doing keyword research. A bunch of different things can be done with Claude Code that's really effective, whether that be in the terminal or otherwise. And basically what it seems like here is a story that came out was that Anthropic claims, says, its buzzy new Claude Cowork tool was mostly built by AI, their Claude Code tool, in less than 2 weeks. So what does that mean? Claude AI wrote product manager at Claude wrote that Cowork, us humans meet in person to discuss foundational architecture and product decisions, but all of the devs manage anywhere between 3 to 8 Claude instances, implementing features, fixing bugs, or researching potential solutions. So as a result, they were able to basically insta-code, it feels like, over 2 weeks, a project to turn the Claude Code tool into this Cowork tool. And let's just, first of all, we're going to go through the whole video, or our whole episode here, giving use cases, but here's just a very brief minute showcase if you're trying to get enticed. I'm just messing around because they always got this dang. I'm dancing for those who can't see. Just because they have this dang music on every single demo, it's like some punchy. It's cool though. So as you can see, it's a very engaging product that's able to do a bunch of stuff. And it's you cooked, and it did. It really did cook. We're excited to show you different ways that it has cooked. Just to kind of kick it off, I know that you have some use cases. I have some use cases.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to show some demos. I think what makes this powerful is that you give access to a folder or some folders in your computer. Also, you give access to your browser. Basically, like you install the Cloud plugin to be able to give access to that. And it can do many things for you. So we have done episodes about all these different things, right? We have done episodes about browser agents, that AI agents that can use your browser to get things done. And we have shown you some products like Manus, like general AI agents that can actually do things for you. But this is like taking it to a whole new level where basically it's just you can do like so much more, which kind of means that like everyday tasks that you do every day, they can be done. So actually, if like, I wanted to compare, I'm going to share. Are you sharing screen?
You can do it. Do you want to go first? Or do you want?
Yeah, I'm going to go first.
Okay. For sure.
Just because basically I use Claude Cowork to describe Claude Cowork. I asked it to do some research and create a table for me so that we can explain our viewers or listeners what is different about it. So when you're using Claude as a regular using, you're getting answers to your questions, you're doing research, right? And when you use Claude Code, you're building software, like you're asking it to build software. You're writing code. With Claude Cowork, you're not just asking questions, but basically you're asking to do things for you. And what you're seeing in my screen is the Claude Mac app, and they also have a Windows app available, also a mobile app as well. I believe this Claude Cowork is only available on the desktop right now. It's not available on mobile yet. They will probably have that soon. But basically, because it's a desktop app, it can do many things. It can actually access files on your computer. It can do things for you. It can access use browser, and basically get things done for you. In this case, I asked it to do a research and create me a table. And once it created this table, I also asked it to like create a presentation about it. And also it created this presentation for me, and basically a keynote presentation. And you can see it here, or I can open it in Keynote. Let's see if it will open it. Basically, introducing Claude Cowork. It created this presentation. It's comparing Claude to Claude Cowork. And just it can do many things. It has skills, and you can actually teach skills. So let's go back to this table. I like this table. So it create like in regular Claude, you get answers, text answers, right? In Claude Code, you get code. In Claude Cowork, you can get anything, right? Basically, you get work done and you get work outputs. If you give it a data, if you ask it to do something, it's just going to give you back data, or it will turn that into a web page or a slide or something else. So basically, you can use any kind of data to be able to do your work. So with data, Claude, you can train, right? With Claude Code, you can use live data as well and live browser as well. So Claude uses browser chat. Claude Code works in a terminal, and Claude Cowork is the desktop app that I'm using right now. And regular Claude is conversational. Claude Code is more agentic, and the Cowork is also agentic. Basically, it just took them 2 weeks to turn Claude Code into Cowork. And what makes this product so powerful is that they have been investing in Claude Code for a long time. So it's a really good product. I don't know how many developers use Claude Code, but there's a huge community of users that have been improving for a long time. And now you have this mature product that can be used for other purposes. That's why it's so powerful and a great idea. And basically, it can access your computer and your browser. It can do things for you. And when it's accessing your computer, it asks for permissions. And also, in the files, right, the folder you give access to, it creates like a virtual machine so that it cannot go outside, so that it cannot just go crazy and just, destroy things in your computer. It's limited to one folder in your computer, and you don't want to give access to everything in your computer. You just want to, like, I created this, Claude Cowork folder and just gave it access. And the presentations it creates, even this table is like a HTML table. It just created this table within that folder. And it can also open it here, or I can just open it separate. It's just a file. And basically, it's good for everyone. And this is a great showcase of like how you can use this product to do things. And while it's working, basically it's just showing you all the artifacts and context and all these things. So it has all the power of Cloud Code, but it's also it doesn't require you to be a developer. You can just tell it what you need, and it's just going to do that for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I find the 3 levels of explanation pretty apt to the situation. I do think Claude Cowork is a clear and obvious worker. The researcher side for chat, and then Claude Code for coding. And if you're using it this tool, please make sure you're trying to use it for its use case, right? And I'm not saying that any of the ways that you might use it might not hit 100% well, like how everyone was using Claude Code in order to do stuff that now Claude Cowork does, and vice versa. But trying to keep it in those buckets, I think, is a fair delineation, honestly, to make sure that we're on track. So let me now share my screen and kind of get into what I think is a good example of something that I've done real quick. So I have this is one of the more basic one of the more basic ones, but it is a good one. So a lot of people are talking about the file organization. So let me just grab that one from here. So if I go to my Cowork, I told it to essentially clean up a folder. Okay, so this is a folder, and this is one of the pre-made options, but I did use it just to show you. Scan the contents and propose an organizational plan. Show me the plan before making any changes. Execute only after one approve. Organize them into a bunch of folders. Put them inside put them inside on my desktop. What I basically did was I took what my downloads folder was, which was insanely unworthy of being good at being well organized, and it had all these different types of file types. It had a bunch of audio files after I exported them from shows like this. It had images, other MP3s, different HTMLs, different zip files, different Office docs. And I said, just organize it real quick for me. And it put it into 14 different folders for me. And then I pressed approved after it did it. And it says 45 steps, right? So it took 45 steps, but this took like 4 minutes in real time, which is insane that it had that many things. And it organized all of it into 14 folders and then put it inside. And you can see the result is right here. So we have these 14 folders right here were made within like 4 minutes of just saying, hey, this is completely disorganized. Can you please organize it? And then I put it into these 14 folders. So that's a common one people are showcasing right now. And I think it's a pretty incredible use case because a lot of us are disorganized and we don't have to be anymore.
Yeah.
By just asking to not be.
It's just now you have a product that can actually help you with your desktop in your computer. And if you think about it, like a lot of people are just doing their work on their computer, and it's just full of files, and it's just like so much work to like find stuff, organize stuff, and process stuff. You have all this data, and let's say you have these, client files, PDFs, whatever, right? You could actually ask it to find all these different documents about different clients and then organize them by client. Basically, it's just gonna do it in a few minutes, and you're gonna be much more organized. When you try to find stuff, it's just gonna be easier.
Wait, do you see that? I just asked a question real quick. I said, continue to organize my files. And it just organized all the ones that were remaining. So it literally took 30 seconds, cleaned up what was there.
Yeah. I think one of the things so powerful about Claude Cowork is it's not like one shot. It's basically when you ask it to do something, it creates a plan. And we can see that plan on the left side. You were just showing that to us. And it creates a plan, and then it will just do those plans. And here's the interesting thing. When it's working, you can actually talk to it, like you can interrupt it. And it's not, you don't have to cancel the whole process. You can just start telling it to something, and it's just going to change its plan. And it's going to, add whatever you requested to its plan. And it's not going to time out. This is kind of similar to Manus, but in Manus, like that doesn't work, right? You just ask it to do something, and it creates something, and if you ask it to change something later on, it's just much harder. It's like more like deep research. You just do it in one go, and but in this case, like because this is coming from Claude Code, and Claude Code is like this continuous process, it has all these powers. And one of the most important things about this is the connections, right? And I'm going to show a demo about the connectors. Let me share my screen. So I'm going to do, basically, I'm going to show how to use like connectors. And it has many connectors. Like there's lots of products that you can add connectors. They have like these directory of different connectors. Or if you have like a MCP server that you can just connect that as well. So there's just so many options, and Jotform is actually one of them. So I'm going to show this Jotform example, and let's see, how do I get out of here? Let's do this. Okay, we are back here. So I'm going to use the Jotform connector. It's available. So I can just say, because I already connected to my Jotform account, I can just say, create a, and let's create space here. Create a contact form using Jotform. Basically, whatever kind of form you want to create, you can do it. And it will just use the MCP connection with Jotform to create a form for us. And these are the steps here. Basically, we can see the details here. It decided on what questions to have on this form, and sending a request, MCP request to Jotform, and it's going to create a form for us now. Okay, so it created this form, and obviously if I open it, it's not going to be visible, but I'm taking a look at it. It's just a regular contact form, but I will now ask it to do some test submissions on this form. Do some tests. Do, for example, 3 test submissions on this form. And basically, it can also like fill out the forms using MCP as well, like for us, so that we can actually see how it. While it's working on that, I'm going to show the and I'm going to show this contact form it created. Here it is. So basically, created a simple contact form with all these questions on it, and it's now making submissions to it. Let me go to that. All right. So basically, it created these test submissions for us, and we can ask for it to get the data into an Excel, into a spreadsheet.
Okay.
Also create a report about it. So I'm making a secondary request as well. Okay. So basically it's using the same connection to get the data, and 2 steps, list submissions, run a skill. So while it's working on this, let me show you about the skills. Basically, if you go to settings here, we will see capabilities, different capabilities, skills. So you can actually teach skills to it, teach new skills. And these are some example skills. For example, Slack GIF creator. You can just, for example, this skill gives it powers to create GIF files. So like if you're doing something a lot, and basically you can create a skill about it, and then you can reuse that skill whenever you need to use it. So let's go back to this this work now, and we can see here it created this file now for us. Again, it created the Excel file and placed it in that folder, and we can see the submissions in the Excel file. If you want to do anything with this file, right, we can do that as well. Just, if you want to, let's ask it to create a report about the data. And basically it can take the data and turn that into a report. If you need charts, if you need different things, you can actually achieve all those things. So let's see what kind of report it's going to build. But this is basically created an Excel file. I can open it in Numbers because I'm in Mac. And I love this animation, like the cloud animation. I usually use ChatGPT, but love this animation on cloud.
Yeah, I agree. I think it has some of the best aesthetics. For sure.
Yeah, even like these, I was just, different, like the styles it creates. We can see that it creates all these beautiful styles, like whatever it does, right? So in this table, right? So usually, like with other, AI, it's just the styles are not beautiful like this. Just they have some taste. So we go back to here. Let's see what happened with the report. It's still working on it. Oh, I actually see a doc file. I don't think we have seen this doc file. Let's take a look at this one. Maybe it's working on this file right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's still working on this file, but it looks like a great report. So basically, it shows me the total submissions. It shows me information about different things like how many people have phone numbers, activity status, and all this information. And it shows me, detailed submission documents. So it's a doc file, and I'm just gonna ask it to turn this docx file to PDF. Let's see if it can do this. And one of the great things about this is you can ask it to do things, and because it's a desktop app, it's not gonna time out. It's just gonna keep going. And today in the morning, I was playing with this, and it includes some competitive information, so I didn't want to demo it. But basically, I asked it to do some work for me, and it required like browsing many pages, and I just started running it and went to Office, and then it kept running, and I don't know when it completed, but it created this amazing report, which included browsing hundreds of different pages and creating a report and making suggestions, and the suggestions were excellent. So basically, now it's doing a PDF conversion tool. So basically, and it also sometimes creates code. Sometimes it's just gonna basically write its own, Python code or some other code. So I'm not sure what it's doing right now, but it's looking for file to convert to PDF.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we will leave it to it. And I know that we have more demos, so I'm just gonna leave it here.
I got some stuff to show too. So it should be good. I will say it has been constantly improving on its ability to have some of these servers, MCP servers, work with Cowork. Originally, it was having some issues. Like I had a couple connectors here that just weren't listening and weren't working, but they were working in chat. So just be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, they continue to fix this type of stuff. So if I go to new task, I'm just going to show you a really cool use case. For example, I have a tool called Grain. Grain is a meeting recording tool. So I go up here. What's really funny to me is that the MCP is available even for plans that aren't using the API, which I find fascinating, by the way. So I had this meeting with a client of mine, so I can say, what did we talk about in my meeting with Arcade yesterday? And what it's going to do, even though that's a general thing, is it's probably going to reference Grain since it's a meeting recorder. It might reference my one of my other connectors. I have Google Calendar connected and stuff like that. So let me just go back to Claude Cowork. And you can see it says list attended meetings, right? So just get that. So it found my Arcade meeting. Okay, cool. So me, Melanie, Mateo, Alex, we discussed meeting cadence. We discussed contract and billing. We talked about a lot of different things. So what I would say is just something as basic as, can you please put together a meeting action plan for our three meeting system / schedule, so I can properly have agendas ready and write out a recap message for the team. Now, this is some basic stuff for sure, but it's something that you can consistently do, and you can have your team members do stuff that's really well connected, kind of like Aytekin was showing. So what are the three meetings? I mentioned the following, so it's going to ask me some questions. And this is what I really like about Cowork and Claude Code. They kind of ask you to fulfill requests. They ask you to be specific if it's missing the context. So the Monday paid call, Monday organic call, and the Wednesday holistic call, respectively. And then I'd like to clarify, what format would you like the deliverables? So I can put like a Notion Ready Markdown, just keep text in chat. I can say, create me a visually good looking PDF. Where should I send the team recap message? I could draft it for Slack, I could draft it for email, or could I just include it in the doc? So I'm going to draft it for Slack. Now, it guided what I think I want to call out is that this guided me where I think chat doesn't have this capability really. This is attempting to do a task correctly, so it's going to create files, run a prompt to get a specific message put out there, and it's going to attempt to properly organize things in such a manner and ask me questions in such a manner so that it would execute right. You can clearly see the analogous framework that Claude Code had, because it would always ask clarifying questions to make sure it coded things correctly, because when it misses the mark on what you wanted to do in the first place, code will go haywire. So I think that's actually a pretty interesting note here, is that they learned a lot from Claude Code, because with people trying to just prompt quickly and not think about it much, they probably ran into a fair amount of issues where someone would say, hey, can you make this look prettier? And they're like, what does prettier mean? And it's like,
this reduces the amount of hallucinations greatly.
Big time.
Because whenever AI is not sure about like what to do, instead of making up stuff, it will just like give you some options and just try to understand what you're trying to achieve. And that's a huge improvement over what we currently have.
Yeah. So it's like I said, it's making a PDF and going through some other stuff. And I just want to showcase some different connectors I had as well with Aytekin. So it has something really nice here, which is Claude in Chrome. It has Control Chrome. You might be saying, what is this? So there is a Chrome extension we never really got into, but it is essentially a in Chrome type of agentic interaction tool that I was using as well. And I want to showcase that too once this kind of finishes its work. So it has created a visually polished PDF. So let me just click on this real quick. When it loads. Okay, or it could not load. Okay, it was good. So this is a really nice PDF. We have a document that clearly explains the standard agenda for paid ads, for organic content, and for the holistic strategy calls that we're going to have. So just wanted to kind of call this out that we are doing this. And I think it's really great that I'm able to have this properly ask me questions without it needing to be an issue. So let's find that. Here's your PDF and Slack message. So this is the Slack message. Hey, quick recap. Mentioned the fact that next Monday is a holiday for Arcade. So first meeting moves to 127. So this is kind of insane, by the way. I had it access the MCP for my meeting connector, and it remembered all these little fine details about how, like, oh, they had a holiday next Monday because it's MLK Day in the States. And it remembered that. It remembered some of the key action items. It remembered some of the different things that we're trying to do. This is like a level of interconnectivity we have not seen. And what I like to say is, and I'm trying to tell my team this moving forward, I really need help from you guys to come to me with suggestions rather than asking me what to do in scenarios. And a key reason for that is, plainly put, and I would just say this to all of you business owners out there, with Claude Cowork and with the frameworks that it's built out, you're going to see AI be able to come to you with suggestions and with commentary and with ideas on where to take things. And you need to have, at least at a minimum, have employees that are able to do that as well. Because if not, they're not even meeting the standard of what this co-working AI tool is doing, right? It's giving you suggestions. It's asking you clarifying questions that aren't just, what do you mean by that? It's saying, do you mean this, this, or this, right? It's thinking about it and then asking you for minimal input. What do you think about that, Aytekin?
I mean, one manager advice or secret that good managers know that I could share is that when you're trying to achieve something, don't tell it to do what, but tell it to what you're to tell them to do, like explain what you're trying to achieve. And these tools like these Claude Code or Claude Cowork work best if you can actually, instead of telling it, okay, do this for me, do that for me. No, just tell it, okay, I need this. Like, this is the end result I need. And these are the files. Okay, go and do it. And it's going to actually do all those things. And this is exactly what the good managers do. They will actually talk about the end results. What's the goal here? Like, what we are trying to achieve? What's the best end goal that we want to reach? And if you can actually describe it well, that, your worker, your coworkers, your colleagues, even, Claude Cowork, they are going to actually have a much better, they're going to do a better job. So I think, yeah, I agree with your conclusion. Like, just, instead of coming to you, they should be like really thinking about, okay, what we are trying to achieve here, and then just explain it to, Cowork, Claude Cowork, or, one of the AI tools, and just see what happens. And that's a really good idea.
Yeah, because it comes to great conclusions. It's able to ask clarifying questions to make those conclusions even more laid out and good. And quite frankly, we have reached a level of, in my opinion, interconnectivity, interactions between tools from an interconnectivity standpoint. What do I mean by that? MCP is essentially like it's reaching hack levels where in a previous life, you had to do manual work to put together an automation, to put together an agent. Now you can get access points to all of these different tools that you use. And in the same amount of time that someone that you're managing or you as a manager were to have an interaction on what do they want from you, an AI could have solved all the problems and taken action within the platform based off of the conversation. That's the insane thing. You could even have a conversation about what you're trying to do, have an end goal at the end, copy and paste your conversation into Claude Cowork with all your MCP set up, and it'd do what you asked for. Literally copying and pasting transcripts is the solution. And as you've noticed, which is an even crazier thing, if you have it connected to the MCP of your meeting recorder, you can then just be like, all right, for this meeting, can you do what we said? Which is crazy.
Really cool.
Yeah.
If you can actually get AI to tell the other AI do what to do. And I think you have done that, right? You have
pretty
cool
much.
example. Are you going to show that one, or are you going to?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that as well. So if I go to Cowork as well, so if I go to, I'm going to get a new task. I have a prompt here that I just want to steal. Yeah. So it's like a lot of times you got to have like consistent prompts. So it's like, I want to, can you use Claude in Chrome to do the below? So basically this prompt is for the lovable app, and then I'm going to get my lovable app here.
So now you have Claude Cowork using your browser to actually manage lovable, right?
Yeah, on the left is perfect for creating and improving an app. I'm looking to enhance the system in general, interact with the chat on the left to make that happen. The order of operation, and then I explain kind of how lovable works. Basically, you have to like type in there, you have to iterate, etc. So the prerogative or the main goal of this coding session / improvement session will be, and then so if I take a look at what I want improved based on the system, I would say there are some stuff that like I added a good amount of things here. Like I added a lot of visual improvements here. So what I can do is actually, let me just take another example of like a poorly visual, like I think some of these just, how do I say this? It's just not aesthetic right now. So if I take this one and try to make it more aesthetic right now, I think that'd be better. The main goal of the coding will be take the basic CSS / TypeScript look of the app and make it look like a sleekly designed modern app. All right, so we have this connector as well. Use Claude and Chrome to do the below. All right, let's go. So just give it a second to spin it up, but you can obviously use the Claude Chrome extension as well. So as you can see, it's using login to Claude and Chrome. Make sure you're logged in. So if I open settings,
did you actually tell to do this 30 minutes for 30 minutes?
I did,
because it was saying something like that there. I was curious why did it say that. It says 30-minute session.
Oh, I did tell it, yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. In the prompt.
Let me try this one more time. It might have bugged because I do in fact have the Chrome extension enabled. Maybe I needed to have this open, I think. And maybe just let me make sure I'm logged into everything. This is more of a Demetri issue in the sense that let me reshare my screen. Okay. Yeah, this is more of a, I use what's it called? Edge. Because I'm weird. But I use Edge. So That's my bad for being an Edge user. So 1 sec. So yeah, so you can see it's navigating here. It's actually pretty crazy how this works.
Yeah.
So
and AI telling another AI what to do.
Allow always on this site. So it's navigating to the it's navigating here. I'm just gonna sip my tea and watch it code. So that's cool. I'm just gonna log into the app. But okay. So I can see the level of interface. There's a notification about enabling notifications. Let me dismiss that by clicking later so we can proceed. All right. The page loaded, and I can see that smart reply and the level of interface. I can see there's already a plan with an implement plan visible on the left-hand side. The app on the right shows a dashboard interface. Let me start the 30-minute design enhancement session. First, I'll click on the chat input area and type a prompt to improve the app's design. So let's see it try to do this. So it's trying to find the clicking area. As you can see, you see how it says overall on the screen, it's like Claude started debugging your browser and it's highlighted and whatnot. That's the indicator of this Claude Code extension kind of working. Mm-hmm. So it's taking a screenshot and clicking on the chat input directly. So this is something that I did the other day, and it blew my mind, right? Because I had a rudimentary tool I was making, and all of these kind of look pretty trash coming out of the box and lovable. Now they function well, but they look pretty disgustingly bad. However, I can see the as lovable info. Let me type my design improvement. However, it doesn't like look amazing. So I don't want to spend an hour, or I don't want to spend any mental energy going back and forth between, oh, look at this.
All right.
Going back and forth between, and this is what I would do. I would code in Lovable, be like, all right, continue to improve it, continue to improve it, continue to improve, because that's what you need to do to make it look better. But I don't want to spend any mental energy on it.
We have an app builder at Jotform. And so basically, you can build an app with your forms and many other things. And also people actually, they enter prompts, like they can enter a prompt to create an app. And we actually showcased it in one of our previous episodes. And also people will actually just enter a prompt written by AI. They will just go to ChatGPT. They will describe what you're planning to do, and they will just copy and paste the prompt created by ChatGPT to our prompt box. And
I didn't press enter. Right? I didn't press enter, by the way. I didn't press enter.
You're not doing any copy pasting. Basically, Claude Work is doing the work. Claude Cowork is doing the cowork and doing things for you. And you're just sipping your tea.
Yeah, there's no copy and pasting anymore even. I was trying to save time on this by having a audio input capture my thoughts. There's a tool called Whisper. It's really good. But honestly, it's at the point where this is going to do its work. It's going to go for 30 minutes. And I had this running on Claude Opus 4.5 for 3 hours straight yesterday.
Wow.
And I was on the $200 plan, which granted, I know it's not cheap, but it reset, I think, pretty shortly after, and I was using 4.5 Opus and not 4.5 Sonnet. With 4.5 Sonnet, I'd imagine this could pretty much run infinitely. That's kind of their model. Is 4.5 Opus takes a little bit more, a lot more cost of usage, but Sonnet's more efficient, so you can basically just spam Sonnet on multiple instances all day. But as you guys can basically see, it's gonna go back and forth. It's gonna be taking screenshots. It's waiting to see if there's progress on the sidebar here. And basically it's waiting because I told it how it works. And how it works is it's going to need to click chat, which then makes a plan. And then once the plan is made, you essentially just need to press the button implement plan, right? And let's see, to close out this example, how it is going to literally go from before, where I would have had to type and wait, to have itself be the one to press implement the plan. So the plan continues with detailed code examples. So it's in its screenshot, it's noticing that there is a plan there. Let me scroll down to find the implement plan button. So it's going to scroll down itself. I'm not scrolling, my hand's off the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try, let's see again what it's doing. Excellent. I can see the expected visual. And now let me scroll down more to find it. Yep, and it scrolled down more while I was off screen. And it is going to press the implement the plan button. Let me click the implement the plan button to start the implementation. So it's able to scroll, it's able to prompt, it's able to do everything that you'd imagine a tool would do. So I think I'm both enamored, shocked, scared, excited, happy, sad, like all my emotions. So it just pressed it.
You're building software right now.
This is ridiculous. Like the only word I can use for this is ridiculous. It is ridiculous, don't you think?
It's really cool.
Like, dude, Aytekin, let's take us back to the HTML5 hard coding days, man. Like this is psychotic. You're just like,
I got sick of writing HTML code to build forms, and that's why I built Jotform. That was 20 years ago. Now we are, AI is doing it for us.
All you need is the idea. But yeah, so that's pretty much how it works. This guy will essentially run, I said 30 minutes, so it's going to do this for a while. Now, remember, you can have multiple tasks at once. So let's say you had multiple apps you were building at once. You could have multiple Cowork instances up, fixing one prerogative at a time. And if you really like Lovable, you could use Lovable. Or if you have multiple reports you need to make at once, you can do multiple things at once. So point being, thanks for giving me the opportunity to set off this prompt chain so I don't have to do anything for an hour or two and I can go take a nap or something. Appreciate it. Yeah. All right. So that's my example. What did you have next? I think those are all mine.
Yeah, that was all for me.
Okay.
I think it just came out, was able to test these things, and I was impressed. I think like we have tried so many tools, like the AI browsers, like the Atlas, really impressed us. Manus really impressed us, and we had a lot of great tools that we showcased. But I think nothing has passed this one, like, Claude Cowork. This is like more than a demo. Like this is not a cool demo. This is a real game changer. This is like, you give to every employee in your company, and then suddenly they are kind of have these superpowers to do like the job for 5 people. This is so powerful that way, because it can actually do like lots of things that you can do. It's like in the past, like you were doing all these, you were asking it to do research and just, you were still controlling everything. But in this case, you can just let it go and do the work for you. And like, you're turning into the manager, the decider who is overseeing the AI. And you are getting so much more work done. And I can actually see this really improving the productivity of our company. And this is a game changer, definitely. I wasn't like a big cloud user, but this is definitely a game changer. Yeah.
Everyone at my company will be using Claude extensively, or they will understand that AI is not, they need to understand AI is not something to be afraid of. It's not something to not understand. It is a requirement that they understand how this works. Because as an employer, I'm sure you can speak to this as well, having people on any team who cannot use this, it's like actually an insane opportunity cost. Like, the opportunity cost cannot be understated. It's insane. Like, if I had 10 people who know how to use this, or I had 50 people who didn't know how to use this, I'd go with the 10 people every time.
It's like the PC, right?
Yeah.
PC came out, and some people don't want to learn it. Some people want to, they use it, and there's so much productive. You use the Word, not Word obviously didn't came out first, but the word processors, like spreadsheets, just improve the productivity of people. Like the accountants, they were using paper only, and then suddenly from paper only to like computer only, probably in like a short time, like 5-10 years. It made no sense to continue using paper. Just the productivity improvement is like probably 100-fold when you start using spreadsheets. So I think it's very similar. And just this is the future. We can see that. And we started really fast to 2026, definitely.
We did. And what's still insane is I have a it did it. I have a prompt. Yeah, thank you. And I have a prompt that basically told it needs to QA everything, right? So I told it every because with a lot of these coding tools, it's like it tries to do it. You just have to be like, all right, can you check whether you actually did what I asked you to do? And it's that simple. It's not like a complicated follow-up, but just I can't explain this without just like putting you in the shoes of me. I'm doing my work throughout the day. I would literally have a second screen open where I would just be like, copy paste, QA and see whether you did that correctly. And go back to my work. QA and see whether you did that correctly. Do you have any more ideas on how to improve the prerogative of making it look nicer? Waiting 2 minutes, getting distracted.
Implement them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like I'm basically not thinking. I'm just like, I have like a canned list of. I have like a prerogative in my head, like next few hours, I'm going to make it look pretty. I'm just going to do that. And all you have to do is just tell Cowork to do it. It's just going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, just wait, check my emails and then, just answer them for me.
Yeah, answer them for me. I don't want to deal with this today. Just deal with my shit. Yeah, pretty much.
I'm going to vacation. Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm going to vacation, doing some skiing in Italy.
Absolutely, yes. That's what you're going to be doing.
Co-pilot, Coworker, Claude Cowork, handle everything else.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that being said, everybody, we really appreciate you guys for hanging out with us and nerding out about a really great new improvement. We want to say you have been amazing. You've really supported the show. We appreciate you. And just thank you so much for everything. Please make sure to try out all of the stuff that we have going on here at the AI Agents podcast. We cover so much stuff. It's hard to keep up sometimes, but try everything out. Try this out specifically. It's going to do wonders for you. So if you like this episode, hit that like button. Leave us a positive review on Apple Reviews and Spotify. I do think the tool we showed today was really game changing. So if you appreciated how game changing it was, gotta give us that review. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll see all of you in the next one. Peace.